Welcome back, everyone. We're here for the final two matches of a league running this Eldrazi aggro build that I put together. It's a red-based build so that we can capitalize on linebreaker. We're testing out the Dragon Eldrazi. Super fun. If you're not subscribed, do it. I'd appreciate it. Costs you nothing. Helps me out. We'll do some giveaways once we get to 500 subs. If you're curious about the deck list, some of the choices, and why, first video I posted earlier today with this list. We'll let you know. I have a playlist together with a very similar list I was playing back before even the Nadu ban, and I think this one will survive the ring ban well. We'll see. There's a possibility that running the mimics will be bad if Ragavan becomes a premium 1-drop in the format, which I think it will. Find its way into the spotlight again, so people will have a lot of, we'll see fire and ices again and cards like that that can really take advantage of the X1. But I've played it before with the full playset of Wastegate Battle Mage instead of the Mimic. But I like having a lot of 2-drops, and we could always just play like Endless One as a flexible 2/3/4 drop. Our first hand here, we get to be on the play against Gabriel Seiler. This is a pretty good hand. Has everything we want. Not everything, I guess. Ideally, we hit a 2-drop. We had a 2-drop for turn 1, but we can get turn 2 the linebreaker and chain Null Drifters and Kozilek's commands after that. Devour helps us hit hit what we want on our first draw. Wow. Put him to 6. I'm tempted here to just exile all 4 and say, like, we already got our lands. But on the off chances any sort of blue deck, Cavern of Souls is really good. Temple's great for casting this Kozilek's command, though. Because we can turn 1 Ugin's Lab, turn 2 Breaker with the Courtyard, turn 3 Temple, and Kozilek's command for what? 3. And the trigger on Linebreaker is pretty big there. I wish I would knew if it was a blue deck. I'm gonna have to keep the Temple. It's a really strong card. Yeah, I think we lead on Ugin Lab here. Not really any reason not to. Technically, you can Kozilek's command now just to cycle it, essentially. It's 2 mana, cycle it. We scry 0, draw a card, and all the other modes do nothing when you only pay 2, but you still get to draw a card, which is nice. And of course they play an island. I almost did it too. I almost kept a Cavern of Souls. Exiling 2 of them sets us up pretty poorly into a blue deck, but it is what it is. We still gotta try to jam this. The good thing is this doesn't get hit by Spell Snare. I don't think they have any 1 mana counter spells for Eldrazi Linebreaker. Doesn't get by Stern Scolding either. What are we gonna do? Cycle here? No. Okay. Interesting. An Oculus deck running the Archaeologist. I don't think I've seen that before. Kind of makes sense. Helps against the Boros matchup while setting up your Unearths. Question is, what do we want to do here? I think I'll go for Null Drifter. Means we pretty much are guaranteed to get the draw off of it. Ooh, actually, I'll lead on Mimic. It might eat a Spell Snare, and that's okay though. On the off chance this doesn't, our Null Drifter can trigger it, become a 4/4, and then we can give it haste. So we could hit really hard this turn. And yeah, they are unlikely to spend a counterspell on it, even though they should. Now, if they happen to have main deck Consign, they could use it here. Wow. I mean, if they have removal, they should use it before we go to combat for sure. And get this trigger. Yeah, Fatal Push on Eldrazi Linebreaker, I assume. It's a good play. Yeah. We still got to do what we wanted to do that turn, even though we didn't get to utilize the Mimic trigger fully. They get Unearth on the 5/5. It's not great for us, but we can Herald and Null Drifter, which means this is going to swing for 5. Ooh. I guess if they have push, they can still push our Mimic, so. Man, Cavern would have been so good in this matchup. On second thought, we're definitely going to lead on this. Trying to think of the best way to do it. Don't think it makes any difference. To do this and it that heralds doesn't set up our Mimic to swing for any more than a 3/3, but as far as like sequencing this the way we did is not ideal for our Mimic, but it's ideal for our fleshraker, and it's gonna do damage to them. I think they're gonna push our Mimic anyway. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'm glad we didn't try to utilize it. So they kind of have to remove this, but we're set up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can actually hardcast a Null Drifter next turn. Ooh, a frog. Bolt themselves? No. Interesting. So they might have consign. Kind of aggressive here. Ooh. Stopping in our draw step. What are they going to do? Surgical? No. They don't want us to get the discount here. I think we'll get rid of Frog. We'll just go all in on Kozilek's command here. We risk getting blown out by Force and Negation, but I think that's okay. Yeah, let's do this. If we do get blown out by Force, oh, we can't. They only have one card in hand, so never mind. If they have more than one card in hand, we did risk it, but they did get rid of one. So we get to get rid of Frog, which means they're not going to draw any extra cards, and because of our fleshraker, this is doing a lot of damage. We have 6. We can actually still just cast a Null Drifter. I think that's probably correct. Or cancel. Do we just want to cast this? Yeah. This is why fleshraker is so good. Oh no, cancel. Oh, because the heralds died. Never mind. I thought we could do Null Drifter or that, but we can't. Because I'm not getting the discount anymore. We put them to 5, and we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 11 mana next turn. So, pretty good spot. Emperor Bones. Did not expect this. Is this a Goryo's build? It can't be Goryo's. They have no. Tamio's the only legendary we've seen. Huh. I guess this makes sense if you're already playing Unearth Plan. So they can adapt him and get back an abhorrent Oculus. I guess it's not great because they just swing for 5. Or they can get. That's it. Tamio, I guess. They already have one. I mean, I guess in a normal matchup where they're not down by 15 life, swinging for 5 is great, but they have to have removal for this, or they're pretty much guaranteed dead. Okay, you can eat my Null Drifter. Well, they're gonna get to swing with my Null Drifter, but they don't draw the cards, so it seems pretty weak to swing with Annihilator 1 into my field of 6 spawn tokens, but okay. You got one of my spawn tokens and hit me for 4. I don't think that was really worth it, but okay. That's a great draw. Let's do that. That's lethal. For so many reasons. Yay. We got there, even though we didn't have Cavern. Weird build. Do I want Wayscape? The bounce is good against the Oculus, and it's fine against Frog as well. I don't mind just resetting Frog. Maybe I want Obligator for this. Yeah, it could be a 10-point swing by stealing a Oculi. I gotta be careful. I don't. Although Trinisphere and Flute are good. Hearse is good. It's like I can't make these uncounterable, and I don't want to dilute my main game plan, right? Because we're the aggressive deck here. Probably trim the old Thief and some Kozilek's Command because I can't make it uncounterable. Although he's probably trimming on forces and the like. I think Mimics are fine. I don't think he's playing Orcish Bowmasters. We need a fast clock. And I like this cast trigger. Trying to think. I do like Hearse against. I think this is good enough against their game plan. Do I want that stuff more than like Thought Nuts? I don't really ever want to cut these. Maybe I don't bring in Battle Mage or I trim some Mimic. But I want to be fast. Thought Nut actually seems the clunkiest card. And Kozilek's Command is also Graveyard Hate. I have a lot of removals, so this isn't great. Makes my Heragast worse. I don't know, I like the cast trigger. Yeah, I'm just gonna play 61. Can't make up my mind there. Odd build. I've never seen Emperor in it. Or the Philology. So it seems like they're more all in on graveyard stuff. Which means they have to be conceding stuff somewhere, which seems like what? Control. I'll keep the double fleshraker hand. I'd rather this be a Cavern, but because I can't actually cast the Null Drifters. Now that I look at this, this is a little loose in that I can't cast any of these. But what do I have? I have 7 lands that can. Yeah, I probably should take a mole. This is like 3 cards that can't do anything. Where were you when I needed you most? I'll probably fetch up the basic mountain. I don't think they're going to be playing Harbinger. If they do play Harbinger, it turns on all my Null Drifters. If they don't, I need to be able to cast. I want to be able to cast the. Interestingly, ditched up Fatal Push, one of the best cards against me. I want to be able to cast Linebreaker if I draw it. Though obviously our plan now is to go Fleshraker, Fleshraker. Looks like we're walking into a counter spell, but I don't think we can afford to just take a turn off. So that's fine. If this gets countered, we'll cast another one. Did not. It's getting removed. So yeah, I think our best draw right now is to just get a... shoot the Sheriff. Kills everyone in my deck. All my Eldrazi are not outlaws. Warlocks. Shock passed. What 3-mana card do they have? I guess I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna do this. I'll just force them to have the answer again. Thought Scour. Plus what? Another shoot the sheriff? No. That's a weird play then to shock in the watery grave. Maybe they had counterspell and they wanted to use Thought Scour instead. 3 mana. Oh, they're making an Oculus. It's pretty decent. 2/2. 2/2s are gonna get big pretty quick. 1/2. I can't exile it. A land? No, we can't draw lands in this deck. Oh, actually. If you notice, I'm floating a colorless so I can cast a second at the heralds off of this, assuming I get this token. Yeah, okay. So if we just draw, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can draw well. Our spawn tokens are 2/3s. If he swings with this, it opens up our swing back with the fleshraker. A temple's a great draw. Ugin's Lab is a great draw. A Cavern of Souls is a great draw. A linebreaker is a great draw. Another fleshraker is fine. Basically anything except another 7-drop. If we could just avoid drawing more Devour, No Drifter, or Harrogast or whatever, that'd be great. And here's an instance where it's like, I'm glad I cut some thought out in Kozilek's commands, because those would all be clunky draws. He manifested a second Oculus. Man, that's nasty. I'm dead next turn. Wow. I don't know if we can do anything about that. Shoot. I need to draw something so I can Kozilek's command one of these, but I might just be dead. Again, if we just like draw an Ugin's Lab, we can maybe just kill him with Kozilek's command and fleshraker triggers. That's not the one. If I swing out, he blocks a 4 and a 3. He takes 3, 4, 5. I need a couple triggers. I can get 1 and I can exile 1. Exile 1, he gets 1 blocker. He takes 3, 6, 7, 8. So that would do it. But that assumes he has nothing in hand. How much does this cost? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're 1 short of this. I guess that's our play. Exile and create. Nope, he's got it. Comes out of memory, does it? Yeah. Man, we had so many draws that would have been great there. Swingbox here he goes 3, 4, 5. I can cast another one. No, he had a push anyway. Okay. Well, push and consign was really good. Man, that's so close. Okay, I'll play. We'll cut this. We don't want to be heavy on. We'll cut the breaker. Bring in an all as dust over that breaker. I forgot. This actually is decent, I guess. Let's draw better this time. 0 land. Mull. I know it had Devour, but we're not keeping a 0 land Devour. This is 1 dual land away from being a great hand. Without a Devourer. Don't want to go to 5 and risk it. This is turn 2 this. Or turn 2 Mimic, turn 3 this. Guaranteed. I'm gonna mull. I need a faster hand. This hand does some stuff. What are we bottoming? We're bottom of Thought Knot and a Wastecape. So we get this trigger. We're ready for Ugin's Lab. We have turn 1 this and a turn 2 that. Yeah, that seems good. It's definitely not Devourer. Is it just second Linebreaker? Shooting 2 of those is probably good enough. I don't think we need the Ugin's Lab. Yeah, I think that's good. Downside being we don't have, again, we haven't gotten a single cavern out in these matches or games, but we'll take what we can get. We didn't exile 2 caverns this time at least, and we won the game we did. So what? We drew 1? No way. So assuming he doesn't have exactly consign or fetch push, we'll hit hard here. Looks like it's going to be consign or fetch push. It is a consign. Okay. Of course. We still got him to 15. And we have a backup. What do we got here? Do we want to go for fleshraker now? Fleshraker is better to lead on. Huh. Thought we were going to get consigned again. Is this going to be a push this time? Outlaw, okay. No, we'll just keep him at 2-1. Doesn't make a difference. Well, our little mimic's trying to go to distance here. Nice thing is he hasn't done anything to advance his own board yet. There we go. Well, this is good for the second Linebreaker. What do you choose? Unearth. Okay. Unearth a frog, which is decent. Ooh. It's kind of tempting to lead on this, but I think I want to get this in while it gets good. The nice thing is it makes us a 3-3, which is great because it's big enough to swing into this Philology. He took a turn off. He's got to take a beating here. I assume he's still got a chump. He should. I mean, I guess it's the same amount either way. He's blocking 3 damage. He would have blocked 3 damage the other way. I'm presenting lethal, even if he unearths a frog, I think. This would be a 5 with trample. He'd have to discard some cards too. But he has a full hand of cards, so I assume we're going to see him remove something here. No? Is he just missing land drops? We also haven't drawn a land, but that's fine. It seems like we're just has a consign. I'll go for this because it buffs up our Eldrazi Linebreaker, and if he's going to spend a consign, I'd rather him just counter this. Okay. It doesn't give this trample. One, two, three. This would be a 5. So now it's lethal with these two together, not lethal with these two. This kind of forces him to block the fleshraker. Because if he blocks here, he's gonna die. Yeah, and this is he'd have to discard a lot of cards to. Huh. It's a weird line. He is it. Oh, he was playing Harbinger. Good to know. We almost got screwed there. So now they trade. He's gonna go 2 more cards. Wow. Dedication to this frog. Going to 2 life. Okay. So he needs removal. One of his cards needs to be removal. Of course, he can swing and draw a card, but then he needs 2 removal or blocker plus removal. Going to 1. Oculus. Guess that makes 2 blockers. It'll be hard to make our breaker big enough to swing through these guys, but double devour is clunky. Let's see what we can draw here. Wasescape is nice. I can bounce this frog. Oh, I can't. I'm 1 short. I can exile an artifact or enchantment. Are you an artifact or enchantment? With 3, put the trigger on this. It's a 6, so we could still just eat it with the frog, or you could double block here. The mimic would just be a 2/2, which you could eat with the frog. I guess we just play it out. I want more things in play. If I buff this up, swing with the team, he can block everything. All my stuff dies. He only loses this, so that's not worth it. Buff him up. It's not big enough to trample through. Frog, so we'll just pass. Feels bad. You can kill me in 2 turns again, so we only get 1 more draw. I guess he can't. He can't afford to swing until he has removal. But manifest creatures will give him lots of blockers eventually. He's probably tempted to attack with the frog to get the draw. It's weird to go with this one. You should attack with your frog. Because once you get a couple fatal pushes, then I'm done. Showing restraint. That's fair. What are we making here? Another... oh, Harbinger. Yeah, that's bad for me. It was a good draw for our opponent. That was a bad draw for us. Oculus will take over this game. I can't really come back from that, unfortunately. And there's our cavern. Just too slow. Huh. It's a close one. Match felt like we should win. I think I keep second game was looser than I initially thought when I clicked keep, which I realized quickly after clicking it, so I'm kind of fine saying that that was my mistake that lost that. I think we could have had a better shot at game 2. Ideally, we just see a hand that actually had a cavern. To be fair, I think we only had 1 or 2 get consigned. Most of our stuff was just killed. But we had all our null drifters to fill our hand and couldn't cast any of them. Joriego is going first. With Gigantha. Well, this hand is good at making mana. Doesn't have a ton to do with it. It's still tempting because we can have 3 mana on turn 1. I guess I can start with a null drifter without having to use Ugin's Lab. I'll just exile this Vista. Doubt they have main deck Moon. I'm gonna keep. It's a little loose, but you know what they say. All's well that ends well. Ocelot. Nailed it. Don't ever not have it. Now I have to debate. Do I want to just lead on Mick? Mick's not good against Ocelot. Or do I want to draw cards? I think I just want to draw cards. Although the Null Drifter next turn would trigger the Mimic. Yeah. So I can Ugin's Lab this Heragast, which gives me 2, 4, 5 mana next turn. Probably just exile the Ajani or the Ocelot. Secluded Courtyard. Interesting, interesting, interesting. We're doing this. If I exile this, I have 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 5. Next turn 6. Close to Yeah, I think I want to exile Heragast. It's hard to take off a turn to develop my board, but I think I have to. If I'm ever going to win this game, I have to get some things in play so that I can start swinging, but I have to take damage this turn, unfortunately. I think I trade one with a Johnny, so I assume just all the cats are swinging that aren't a Johnny. So it's 4 damage. I have a Galv Discharge rather. So we're still one short of actually casting Null Drifter. Yeah, I can't afford to block. I think we just have to Kozilek's Command, unfortunately. Set up for a hard cast Null Drifter following turn. Nope, he has the Johnny flip it. He doesn't have a red card out, so that's a benefit. This unfortunately can only exile creatures, so maybe I was supposed to do that last turn. Because if I did it last turn, he just cast the other one this turn anyway. Makes a token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He doesn't quite get, or he'll get the City's Blessing. Yeah, look at all that. Onslaught is such a redonkulous card. Maybe I should have just exiled it when I had the chance. Shoot. I can make a bunch of tokens that chump block, I guess. So we're gonna exile the creature, just Onslaught, and make a bunch of dudes. Do we want to just cast a Null Drifter this turn? X is 3. Let's go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next turn we can cast this. Or I can go 1, 2, this, cast this, and I have 7. I think I want to try to draw some cards here with this before drawing cards with Heragast. I'll go ahead and attack a Johnny. You can double block it, but I think I'm fine trading this way for 2 tokens right now because it slows them down a decent amount. Or just chump it with a 1/1. Okay. If he plays Goblin Bombardment, we're kind of screwed, but we can Devour next turn to exile the Ajani. Oh, what the heck? His plus puts it on each cat? I've never seen it plussed. It's so bad. So bad for us. Are we just dead? I think we're just dead. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, we're just dead. That's so powerful. I've never even seen it do that. Fun stuff there. Cut the Heragast. We want breakers and All's Dust. Alligators probably aren't strong enough. Sometimes we get to steal something that's been buffed up with a guide, but obviously we saw they go wide. I guess Thief could exile a Johnny as well as Goblin Bombardment. You probably want these. Mimics are pretty weak in this matchup. Do I want Trinispheres? Guess if we get one of those down, that's great. Or I just want them to be flutes. Sorry. Thought Not might be too slow, although it's a big body. Guess if I'm going in on Trinisphere, I want them all. Could bring in Hearse for Flage, but I think Kozilek's Command is enough to just kind of try to deal with him. We gotta win this one. turn 1, 2/2, turn 2, fleshraker. Into Kozli's command, I suppose. It's a fine curve. It's not the most ideal. I think it's fine to play this as a 2/2. I think trying to hold out for the value is a trap, especially in the hand where we don't have colored mana. But even if this was like a cavern, it's better to play because of linebreaker specifically. Linebreaker is like most likely the way we're going to punch through in this matchup. But this hand is going to be fleshraker into Cozy's command, hopefully. Pinging him quick. If we top deck an Ugin's Lab or Temple, we're in even better shape for the Kozilek's command line. If we do get a red source and they haven't played a blocker, I might lead on Breaker just to get a big chunk of damage in early. And that would mean we didn't draw the dual land. All does, so it's kind of like none of the things we wanted, but still not the worst start from us. We've had worse. We at least get to play our 3 drops. This is the, tension of playing an Ugin's Lab in such a dedicated aggro build, is that when you draw those 7 drops, they feel pretty useless. Guide of Souls, Ocelot, Tales Oldest Time. Okay. 4 mana. We're gonna exile. It's hard because I want to exile both of these. Gaining life and eventually making things bigger is not as scary as just his board growing infinitely. So we're gonna make things. We're gonna exile. Yep. We're gonna make another token. We're gonna ping him a bunch. And then we're hopefully gonna catch him with this All Is Dust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can cast it next turn. Because if we're gonna go All Is Dust, we should have hit the guide. Because we'd be fine with them going wide into the All Is Dust. But Breaker is less good when we're using spawn tokens to cast it, but another pride, of course. Yep. Well, this is a pretty good All Is Dust swing, eh? I mean, he still has 4 cards in hand. Feels a little bad into that, or do we just want to Trinisphere first, then All Is Dust? Trinisphere locks him out of casting spells. He has a pretty good board. Yeah, I think we'll Trinispheres first. Also gives us another spawn token. It means we're taking another hit from some flying and whatever. But I think that's fine. I can't swing because he has 2 first strikers. So see, if he gets a land and plays something this turn, that's great. If he doesn't get a land, then All His Dust is even more backbreaking. And we'll swing for 2, 4. He'll take another 1, 5. So we'll be down to 11. We just need to draw a red source, and he'll be dead. We don't even have to sack all our spawn tokens, so we're gonna... Yep, just swinging in the air, that's fine. Yeah, they're locked out. Okay. Devour. We're gonna go with the big guns here. Having a Devourer is great as a follow-up play. 6, we're 1 short of it. Any land can cast this. Any red source can cast this. We can cast anything but our 7 drops that we draw. So we have a lot of good draws now. He can cast 1 spell. Prison, of course, on a Trinisphere. He at least spent a bunch of his energy. There's the draw. Oh yeah, we can't kick it. Never mind. Walk it back. Man. We're not doing good at drawing our 7 rainbow lands. Good news is now we are actually set up to cast Devourer next turn. With them at 4, they're pretty close to dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. They can multi-spell though, because we don't have Trinisphere. Yeah, Raptor. It's got a hit, and a Johnny. It's a good one. Question here is, do I probably don't bother with Static Prison. I probably just hit the Ajani with my Devourer trigger. I have 3 attackers. I get rid of a blocker. The first strike blocker is the scariest. Huh. Do I exile Devourer and just go Breaker? Start swinging with Annihilator the next turn? It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I think that's fine. I can return the Devourer and use it. What is it? What are we doing here? Killing this in response to my Ugin's Lab trigger. That's annoying. Can't really do anything about it, unfortunately. Yeah. Still getting a decent amount. So I don't really want to swing with my 2/2/2s. You can block with a warrior and flip this. Maybe I need, maybe one of my gemstone caverns should just be the 4th secluded courtyard. Go up to 8. There. I have considered going just a green-red dedicated build, cutting the null drifters for like world breakers, playing Sowing Mycospawn, and so it's kind of like a mix of ramp and aggro. I just love the Eldrazi linebreaker and fleshraker working together. Could still use the wastegapes for the artifact and enchantment hate and hit the heralds. But then it's like it feels a little more mid-rangey, and I'm like, I want to be a dedicated aggro deck, I think, if I'm playing these cards. Casting the 1 ring off an Amped Raptor. Interesting. I think that technically protects from Annihilator, unfortunately. Defending player sacrifices 2 permanents. It doesn't say target. Maybe it doesn't. I'll swing with it either way. We'll find out. He has Bombardment. It's good with a Johnny. He can throw the token at me to flip. Can't kill our breaker. It's hexproof from all the colors. Kills our token. That's fine. Once our fleshraker went, we kind of lost the Devourer line anyway. Killed one of those. Yeah, he's eating us down here, but we're hoping this Breaker of Creation can go the distance. We're up by quite a bit. I guess he has 2 first strikers, so I really can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 short of him. We really needed that freaking token. Man, so awkward. Shoot. I really want to swing with this for the Annihilator trigger, but stupid Amped Raptors. Really, I just want to draw any land here. But opponent's probably going to refill with the ring, get to chain rings, and kill us with Bombardment plus a Johnny. Pretty quick. They're at 3 life. I guess they kind of have to chain a ring here. Oh, they give us back Trinisphere. Well, that's nice. That's because they spent all their energy for ring. That helps mitigate their ring. Doesn't give them a whole lot of advantage when they can only cast one spell. They still have a Johnny plus bombardment, which means we essentially have no board except for breaker. But they can't really swing with their amp raptors as long as I have my breaker out, so wish I had protection instead of hexproof. This is getting grindy. This opponent has two problems. One is they gotta get this ring off the board. Or I guess gain life works too. So they've mitigated the one ring. The other problem is that Trinisphere slows them down a lot. They can't solve that this turn. So they make a token. And they can just start shooting us, right? 4 or 5 damage a turn, adds up quick, and then bombardment can finish us off. Yep, they'll be able to bring Flage back next turn. So, any land. Come on, deck. Any land. Not another 7-drop. Well, it's at least not a 7-drop. Doesn't quite get there. I'm trying to think, if I attack, what permanents is he going to sack? Probably the Cat Warrior tokens, maybe the fetch land that he doesn't necessarily need to use. And then he can just double Amped Raptor. Still not worth it. I just need any land to be able to devour one Amped Raptor to start benefiting from having this 8 mana card in play. It goes down to 5 and then down to 3 with the 1 ring trigger. 4, 5 puts us to 11, 4, 7. So our opponent already has set effectively 7. And I assume they're going to flage us, so they'll actually have us at 4, 3, potentially 2. They put us to 2 this turn, which is pretty good. I guess with Arena they could swing with flage, so they could kill us. I think they could kill us this turn. It's cast flage, puts us to 13. Then a Johnny puts us to 8. Assuming they arena the flage, they can then attack, which puts us to 5. Even if we block with everything, they can just throw the 5 creatures at us. So they had us dead on board, but they decided instead to stop our Trinisphere. So opponent missed that. I'm 95% right. Exile 5 other cards. Yeah, they definitely could do that. They had arena open, so they missed lethal, which is great. Gives us one more chance here, I guess. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they're doing lethal a different way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures. They ping us for 8, and then they throw all 8 creatures at us. So they had it another way. Never mind. The static prison wasn't necessary. They could have just cast the Ajani. Wait. What had happened? Did they not make a creature with this Ajani? Activates ability, create. Oh, he killed my glaring fleshraker. What? What? I was dead twice? I'm so confused. What is my opponent doing? Like, you had just ping me. I was dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I gotta throw another creature at me. 7. I'm so confused with the way my opponent's going about this. They've had lethal like 4 times. Like, that was the longest possible way to get to lethal damage. We got there, I guess. Could have killed me before combat. Could have killed me with flage. Could have killed me. Instead, he does it like with combat, then flipping in a second Ajani instead of just putting the first one at me. He killed my fleshraker, which was He had 1 life. If I had any way to make a token, I would have. Anyway, it is what it is. I do think our matchup into Boros is better than those 2 games showed on average. I don't think it's necessarily like an amazing matchup for us, but I think it's probably better than 50%. I did have a misplay against Merfolk, but I think that Merfolk is probably going to always be an 0-2 or a 1-2 at best. And I think we could have won a game here, so we're a few plays away from having a 4-1. Ended up with the 2-3. It is what it is, but I hope you appreciate it. It's a fun deck. I'll probably get some sires soon. They continue to drop, and put them in here and keep trying an aggro build, maybe try a ramp build as well. Thanks for watching.